Hello and have a wonderful day. I know we are here today from Unicode Tech to understand different aspects of HR end-to-end training that we at Unicode Tech provides to a lot of aspirants that will make more and more understanding and also a holistic view about how somebody would like to create a career in human resources. And through these introduction and demo class, you will get a complete picture about how an individual has to go through and learn and unlearn some of the things to become a true HR professional and can step in confidently into the HR world. This is your host, and the demo is being presented on behalf of Unicode Tech. Myself, GS Naidu, who will be helping you understand and take you through all the learnings that you should know to become a true HR professional. This is a platform from Unicode Tech to make sure that we have each and everything that comes as a key aspects of learning through which you can exercise, you can move forward, you can also ensure that your day-to-day validations of your workshops or a role play and the understanding of day-to-day game plans and no surprise aspects in the HR world will be taken care. So let's begin, and I hope you all will get a maximum benefit through this demo and come up with your queries or inquiries directly to Unicode Tech, and we'll be happy to suggest. So this is the overall content that we would be discussing, which will predominantly had an introduction on the human resource world. Most of you people know about it, and the recruitment and talent acquisition, which is the first source where we actually start in any organization of identifying talent. Then onboarding the talent and also do an orientation and bring a lot of development and training programs, providing a right compensation and salaries and benefits that will really make sure that people are very happy with what they get, and also on different employee relations and engagement activities we do it. Not only that, from a compliance and a legal aspect, what are the ethical issues that we usually handle by HR, and also different metrics and analytics that we take in day out that can help you provide in front of the management. Some of the systems and technology that we enable to really make our job easier, and the right strategies that can make our entire job easier. With a lot of case studies and practical applications, we'll have a lot of concluding sessions after each and every topic, and we'll do reviews and we'll do multiple role plays to ensure that each one of us will go through a realistic scenario about the entire gamut of HR end to end. Here we go. Moving from good. So, what do we cover in the introduction on the human resources? More on the role, what's the importance of the role, and also the evolution, apart from the different functions and responsibilities that an individual should know, and also what does the HR cover. Because we have different industries through which, but each industry also need HR from all perspectives, be it be corporate, be it be non-profit, be it be government, human resource department, or human resource team, or human capital team. I think one and the same. We just use a different nomenclature. Okay, so that's a clear depth introduction will be given, which will give you a perspective of your purpose of doing your MBA or doing your diploma in management or doing your engineering and wants to get into a HR related job roles. This would be very, very important. Human resource is not just human resource, but also being a right human being. So the first step would be on the recruitment, the talent, identifying talent, understanding the entire recruiting process, what kind of strategies that you will try to use, different type of job analysis and the workforce planning you do it, where do you get from people, how many you need it, at what cost, different sources like job boards, social media, and then different techniques of interviews, which would be a structured or unstructured, behavioral, situational. Before different companies use different methodologies to identify and hire talent. And then the entire selection process in terms of providing right assessments and then doing a background check, and providing the offer letters. That's a holistic view of the entire, we call it talent acquisition. Okay, and that's what called the right or the recruiting in the layman terms that you do it. So that's an important aspect of human resources. Once you identify talent, you need to onboard. So that's where you do an onboarding and orientation. So creating an onboarding program, key components, and the right practices that we use in onboarding. Different organizations again has a different onboarding methodologies that could really bring the right connect. So through orientation, you introduce the company and also the policies and the procedures. Again, different organizations, different domains, different functionalities have different or policies and processes and procedures and right affecting onboarding practices. So it's not just doing for a checklist item how you onboard and do an orientation, but also how effective it is by the new hire engagement and retention. So when you hire somebody, we also want them to stay. So we'll discuss more on all and with more practical approaches. Then it's all about employee development and training. So we do a training need analysis to understand and identify where all which are departments need the trainings to really enhance their teams. So it's not just how do you identify it? By designing different training programs, developing curriculums, and also the delivery methods. And different career development programs like individual development, team development, mentoring, coaching, mentorship programs, mentee mentorship programs, peer level programs. Okay, all these development programs will be done, which will really make sure that an individual is being developed in the organization and through different training methodologies. And also through performance management is also part of the employee development because you have been hired with certain knowledge and skill, but at the same time, you might have gained a lot of competencies within the timelines. So, what do you? So, through that, we'll measure your success, the SMART goals. After the goal settings are done, then the reviews, which could be a quarterly, half yearly, annually. Some organizations these days are not doing any reviews, and then the feedback mechanism, the art of receiving and giving feedback. We'll definitely have a lot of activities, as I mentioned during my course of information, and it will really help us to do a lot of learnings. Compensation benefits is another very important topic we call comp and B. So an individual person manages or it is a separate department in big organizations has it because compensation is not just giving a salary but also to make sure that what kind of incentives are given, how you structure the compensation so that the maximum take home is given, not just salary, but what other benefits you are giving, which makes it a total rewards. Okay, so we'll talk about like the health insurance, retirement plans, other benefits, rewards, peer-to-peer awards, hi-fi awards, different benefits, employee satisfaction. Okay, great place to work, employer of choice, different pay scales, different benefit plans, and benchmarking with other organizations. How do we do it so that employees stay back with the right compensation? Then employee relations and engagement, which is on top of what we just discussed on comp and ben, is on employee relations. Is how do we handle conflicts, the grievance management procedures, different disciplinary actions. I think here we have to do a lot of role play and have a lot of examples because only that is the only way that we will be learning a lot. Employee engagement, different strategies to increase engagement and job satisfaction. And you know, once employees are satisfied, they don't leave the company. And if you don't leave the company, it's an asset, and your knowledge is saved, and the company has to spend less time on training and identifying new talent. So, organization culture, building and maintaining a positive work culture, and through which different surveys, different pulse checks, we'll get to know how they are. Then, as was mentioned earlier, a lot of compliance, legal, and ethical issues in HR usually comes up. How does the HR mean somebody is absconding, somebody don't turn out to office, somebody has a different law, they don't follow the rules and regulations. As a company, we also have to be licensed with a lot of statutory requirements for the employees as per the government norms. If we are following or not, are we really deviating? To what extent employee has any grievances? Are we really following the right practices or deviating? We'll discuss all about the company policy. Is the policy correct? Is it only limited to few people or it is open to all? All these things will come with the right fairness and discrimination. Even that will be discussed in detail. Then the important aspect of any organization's success is about the information and the data. So with through different methodologies that what we have seen different topics, data is collected and collated. At every place there is data available. Now to write HR metrics and dashboards, we would be presenting that and how we will be presenting that to the management where we need a lot of budgets and to manage the P&L. So, like different importance metrics will be discussed. How do we collect the data? Different tools and techniques that we use for gathering and analyzing data. How do we make a decision? Why do we need a particular benefit? Why do the salary changes? Who has given the approval? How does it move forward? All these analytics will be making on how the data can inform can HR strategies. Okay, so that is also will be discussed in detail. Then different technologies that we use. So HR is a job we are doing, but we've been enabled with a lot of technological perspective. So you also have to be a tech HR. So HR tech space, a lot of things are moving now. The payrolls are moved online, the surveys are done online, data is collected online. Okay, different tools are done. Biometric, where the attendance has been captured automatically, payouts, payments, travel, reimbursements, a lot of things for which you need a lot of technology enabled. So a lot of HR systems will understand different applicant track system for your talent acquisition where you hire and you gather a lot of resumes which could be used, reused, and then in the future also that you can do. It's employee self-service portals where HR interventions are less required, and then different trends like a lot of AI automation in terms of assessments. Now you don't to do interviews, you don't need human being now. You just have 10 questions, automatically the bots will do the evaluation. So we'll also talk about how the future gonna be and how in HR it is transforming. Finally, it comes to the strategy. So, apart from all this, you really mature this at a later stage of your career. Strategic HR management may not be an initial go-to go-to technology, I would say, or go-to strategy. It will be more of with the data and details and the experience somebody gain will be able to give a complete picture of strategy of the organization for which you need to get matured in the organization. So this is where it talks about the maturity and execution of your process policies, and then this is the time that you work closely with the management or you are part of the management. So strategy HR management is more of decision making and execution. Okay, a lot of transitions, acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions through which different policies and process change, what to protect, what not to protect, how do we ensure that iteration doesn't happen. So all different strategies will be discussed in this conceptual part. And then at every stage, we have case studies and practical applications. Wherever we have a visibility that we will try to produce you in front of organizations or give connects to different HR forums and folks and different places where you can go. Or we'll sponsor if required to see or a self-sponsor HR conferences where you learn from the industry where it is moving. Today it is HR 4.0. So what's happening in the industry before we move to 5.0, how you can be an enabler in this industry. Maybe we'll do a couple of projects, or maybe as a team we will, as a batch we will see what best can be done, so that each person takes a individual topic, and then as an organization how we all can play and implement that. So it could be maybe we will identify some startups and then we will implement all these process and policies as a live. So that gives a complete picture of your experience and expertise using some of those simulations. Okay, so just to conclude and do a review. So a lot of core summaries and key takeaways we'll be discussing, assessments and evaluation. When I said final exam and quizzes or practical assessment, we'll continue to have it. Career path in HR, not just here, if at all you can choose after this 45 days to 60 days of training. Hey, am I a good recruiter, or am I a good L&D person, or am I a good comp and ben? Am I a good MIS analytics person, or am I a strategic HR, or am I a core HR, am I a payroll HR, or am I talent acquisition HR? All these things will come into the picture. So, and you will identify the core specialty in yourself and you will strive towards that. But however, you should be jack of all and master in one. That's that's all for you from GS Naidu and also from Unicode Tech. We look forward, and definitely with 2 decades of experience from my end, I have really transformed many organizations, at least half a dozen of them, and also helped a lot of startups. I am a TEDx speaker at the same time. I've done a lot of sessions and trainings across. I'm part of Telangana Academy of Skill of Knowledge and also in other parts of different states. And I'm connected with more than 2,500 HR professionals across India. Here you go. Definitely, there's a difference, and we will do add value to what you learn over here. Any questions? Please reach out to gsn@unicode.org or reach out to the counselor directly. Thank you so much for being part and listening, and we hope you truly understood and enjoyed this demo.